Alright, welcome back everybody. It's a Saturday, we're in here at the shop. I had a customer just drop it off. Local guy. I never met him before. My R&R guy knows him, drag racer, pretty nice dude. It's a work truck, Silverado, 2012. Nothing fancy, just a 5.3 two-wheel drive. It's been rebuilt before, or been into, at least on the pump. I've seen, I see all the silicone around the bolts. It's got the newer style bell bolts. You'll see that on the 2012s, I think 2010 or something and up. Main complaints, he said, just shifting real hard. I can see the fluid where I drained it a little a minute ago. Fluid's kind of discolored. He said it was shifting real hard first to second was the main issue. He said it never lost a gear or anything like that. So I'm trying to think if he did see anything else. No, pretty much that was it. Just that it, it was probably slipping, and but he said the 1-2 shift has never really been right. It's always been wrong. But let's just go ahead and get into it and see what we got going on here with this thing. Get your 15mm bolts off for the extension housing. It's got your speedo sensor, gets replaced. I can tell it's got a new seal. Bushing's fairly new, it's Teflon coated bushing. Let's go ahead and zip the bell off of it. If I can find the right extension for the thing. So where is she at? Here it is. Nothing too crazy, didn't have to heat them up, that's good. Get the pump bolts out of here. Yeah, they use an awful lot too much silicone, which tells me they probably didn't change the O-rings on the pump bolts. I mean, why else would they use, such liberal amounts of silicone on them? Hopefully it doesn't have a Corvette servo in here. I'm hoping it does not. I don't like to see those, especially on a truck. It'll definitely equal his complaint that he's got. But it's probably something to do with the accumulator system, or they drilled the plate out or something with his hard shifts. Well, we got the factory servo, so that's good. So it's nothing being caused from the servo assembly. You can see the color of fluid. It's pretty dark. The pan looks pretty clean. I mean, he might have had the pan, I think he did say he had the pan off. I don't know if he wiped it out or anything, but it's pretty clean on the pan. Yeah, see, they should have, well, they replaced the lockup solenoid, but too cheap to put a new harness in it. Probably when it was built originally, it should have, got all new electronics, including the harness, but yeah, they went old school with it too, which, I mean, it's okay. I'll show you here in a second. They ran an old school solenoid and used an adapter here So it's an aftermarket EPC. It's like 93 to I think 03 or something, or 04. So, you know, they got this little adapter on here to go to the flat blade style, which this is a more reliable EPC. I mean, I won't leave this. I am going to change the harness back to original. I will put the EPC to the silver can with a different plug connector, like this. I can get it apart here. Because, yeah, see, the EPC should have had that type of a connector, but they just put that little piece in to go with that, which is kind of silly because this EPC is more expensive than the actual one that, you know, is supposed to be in it. You know, maybe they had that laying around new and they didn't want to spend the money, and that's why they kept the harness and didn't replace it. Same thing with this lockup solenoid. Get our solenoid out of here so we can get the lockup out and get the harness removed. Just your 210s holding that lockup in. Actually, let me grab the 13 off of there. Yeah, see, and they got rid of the 3-2 solenoid, doesn't exist. The manifold pressure's gone. The Prindle switch was relocated to the inside. So I mean, the valve body's different. I think that starts in, I can't remember if it's 2010 or when. I'm pretty sure it's 2010. Might be 2009. Don't quote me on it when they changed it exactly. This is 1-2 accumulator. Yeah, see, it says that. Well, that's how they are. It has the single spring in there. Gotta get some air to pop that out. It generally results in a pretty harsh shift usually on these. They did change it to metal, so that's good. At least they did that. So they might have drilled the 1-2 passage, you know, second gear feed for the ball and the channel plate out. Housing looks good. It's metal. I'm not worried about the piston. It's getting Sonex pinless anyway. I like to take the forward accumulator off while it's sitting here. Hopefully they changed it to metal. No, they left it plastic. Again, all my builds, if you've been watching my videos, I always put a Sonex pinless kit for all the accumulators. It's not cracked like they like to crack there, so at least it's good still. Let's see how the check balls look on the plate. There goes one. Manual arm kicked it off of there. No. Are we missing one? Okay, so there it is. It just slid down. Goes up there. Make sure they're all there. Yeah, they're all there. That's good. The plate doesn't look terrible. They did not drill the second clutch up there for the 1-2 shift. I can tell it's just a factory diameter hole there. They didn't do third. Yeah, so they left the plate alone. So maybe we've got this something where the band's been slipping real bad. Let's see. Did they actually... Okay, so they kept it a bonded plate, which is fine. Per minute you can still find it, or they just reused it. There's some gook there. It doesn't look terrible. I'm not really sure if it's replaced. I mean, with as many miles as it's got, the imprinting into it from the worm channeling doesn't look very deep, so I wouldn't suspect it's been on there long, so it's probably a new plate. Your 3/4 accumulator out of the case, standard 310 pin, aluminum, a little loose on the pin, but again, we're gonna go with the pinless on that. Get our socket, get his harness out of here. It's already broke anyway, so it's kind of, they didn't even silicone it in, they just popped it through. Got to grab the check ball here for the 1-2. For the accumulator, I mean. Alright, let's see if we get the pump out in one shot, hopefully. Good. Before I go any further, I want to check this valve body real quick. See if they pinned it. Which it looks like they did. Yeah, they did. But I'll have to clean this all up. Get it, I have to take it all apart, clean it, dry it, then I can vacuum test it to see if we do have any issues in here. The EPC might have been part of his problem with the ohms and stuff on the valve body. Could have been leading to a shifting. A lot of people like to turn that EPC up on a brand new one or a used one, and the problem is you really don't know how much pressure you're turning it up when you do it unless you have a machine to do it. So that's where a lot of people will make the mistake. They'll do it, I mean it works, but no, band looks nice. It almost looks brand new. Is it a Borg? Looks like a Borg Warner. Yeah, it's a Borg Warner, so that's good. We got a reluctor wheel for the pump, for the turbine speed sensor. Grab it off there real quick. I always replace that too, because who knows what they did or didn't. I have no idea. It's got the scarf cut rings on it. That's how I do it. Got to take a look inside the stator tube. Make sure it's good down inside there. I mean, this part of the pump looks good. Bushings installed right. Wide bushings installed correct up top. The pump, I felt a little groove there. Let's see. Get the rest of it out of here. Check it at the same time. The pump slide, the spring out. Get our pin. The pin's worn out. It's got a pretty decent notch cut in it. It's going to be really hard to see on camera, but right there I can feel it. Right there, even through my glove, you can kind of see it there. But the pin's bad. Don't forget your spring out of here. Don't lose it, because it's tiny. Get it clean so I can really see the surface and feel it good. I mean, that's fine. It's got a little bit of a spot on it. It's not a groove though. Check the slide. It definitely needs a new slide. It's totally worn out. And you can see it where it's been scored and the discoloration on it. It's not terrible, but it definitely needs, it should have been replaced. It probably was not replaced. You can see some of the chatter on the top of it there. So it needs a pump kit. Yeah, and this surface is just like that. It's just a little, just slight abrasion to it. I can clean that up. It's not an aftermarket or a new drum. I could see where they just sanded it with the cross hatching on it whenever they built it the last time. He didn't have it built. It was repaired before he got it, so I was asking him questions about it and he couldn't really tell me. So the reverse input looks like exity plates. I mean, you know, each to their own. I don't like them. Old steels. So it was an LS, like a less steel banner kit job. Which is okay, but I don't do that. I mean, I just, you know, you're into it, let's build it, we're building it, you know. Let's go all the way through it. Yeah, the pocket, the sleeve for the pump is good. Got to look down in here in the lugs where the steels go. That looks, yeah, that looks fine. Let's check it for straightness. Yeah, the drum's actually out around, which these usually are, but that's pretty bad. Which is surprising the band's not hurt. But it's definitely out around. Just shining light through here, using this as a flat edge across the drum. Yeah, I mean, there's, it's not a big gap, but I mean, it's decent enough. I don't want to run it. It's got like rust or something on it too. See if I can show you on it. If I can set this, it'll hold it right. Just gotta shine the light up the right way. I don't know if you can see it there, how that light's coming through. It's not terrible, but again, I don't want to see any, because a brand new drum will not have any coming through there. Put my camera back. There we go. So yeah, I would definitely be replacing that drum. Check for leaks on this. I gotta get, where is, hang on here, let's see. I just need some liquid. I'm just gonna put a little bit of solvent in there. And you can only do this whenever the clutches are still in it. Otherwise you'll pop the piston. I just want to see if we have any leakage. It's from my finger, I'm not holding it. There we go. I don't see any bubbles, it's holding. So it had no leakage in the drum, so we're good with the input shaft to the drum. The shaft itself, they didn't put new rings on it, which they should have, I guess. You know, should always replace it. 3/4s. It's a pretty decent gap. I mean, I could fit my whole pick in it. I mean, I'd probably get the screwdriver in there. That's at least like 100. So, looks like they reused the top pressure plate from when it was burnt before, because it's all heated and discolored. So is the snap ring. Snap ring's real weak and loose. I mean, look at the gap of it. Since it lost its tensile strength from getting hot. Here's our springs. So when I get, yeah, another one of these where guys, I mean, again, it's not a huge deal, but let me make sure the camera can see it. Okay, yeah. If you look, where the forward clutch pack snap ring, they're letting it sit and push against the piston that applies for 3/4. Why this? You need to relocate the gap for this snap ring over to here, so it's like this. Nothing is touching that apply sleeve. It just causes a little drag on it. Why do you want to do that? Is it going to destroy the unit? No. Will it cause like a slight delay? Yeah, just a little. People just being lazy, I guess, or don't care. I don't know. Go through those in a second. Get all these. Check our springs. Yeah, those are totally collapsed. The 3/4 returns. I put all new ones in these on a build anyway, but they didn't replace those. Let's check our overrun. Looks all right. Nothing bad there. Looks good. Pressure plate's good. Forward wave steel. First flat steel. Old steel. Friction has slight knurling, so we're going to see an issue with that sprag. Again, knurling, but the plates aren't burnt. It's just the teeth are bent over a little bit, slightly, from the sprag chattering. Yeah, they're not really burnt at all. Again, like I said, it was they put a LS kit in it, but the snap ring's totally collapsed for 3/4. Needs one of those. Let's get in. Where's our brake and the ring? There, right there. Oop, goes the glove. Wow, and they left the sprag in it. The SKF piece of junk. The hub's okay still, thank God. Oh, they just left the original plastic and metal SK. You can see how it's worn, and it starts to dish this out. Then this explodes. It's not falling apart yet. It was even wearing on that side, so they probably flipped it. Yeah, this side's way worse. So when they first did it, this was on the top, or on the bottom, and then they just flipped it to get a new wear for that ring. But yeah, gets a new sprag regardless. Race looks good. That race looks good. I don't like those Babbitt bushings in here. I mean, it's going to get all new bushings. I use the bronze. It looks like they put Babbitt bushings throughout, which are cheaper generally. Let's look at the 3/4 pack. You can see they just reused that. They should have replaced it. Probably reused the steels too. You see some heat scoring on them, but they're not totally destroyed by any means, but enough of a gap was forming where it was slipping. He said, you know, it might have been slipping, I guess, in second maybe, which it might have been, he thought it was second, maybe it was third. But yeah, I mean, you got a decent amount of hot spotting on the steel plates, buzz wheeled on the apply plate, and I bet it's not even flat. No, it's not. It's warped, so just slightly. So it's going to need the, in addition to a standard build, it's going to need those two pressure plates. Let's see what else we got going here. pump gasket out of the way here. Let's get our snap ring off the output shaft. Once I can find the gap for a thing. All they do, put it in upside down. Nope. Get our input planet and our shell out of there. Get our sun gear. Get our washer on the support. Or wait. Oh, there it is. Back of the shell. Yeah, again with that Babbitt bushing in there. I don't like those. Input planet. Feels good. Check your captured bearing in here with your input sun gear. It's nice and smooth. That's good. It's got the tapered Torrington bearing. It fits kind of sloppy on here, but it fits really tight inside of here. You see how hot they didn't really even clean that. They left that alone. It needs that. It's pretty loose. It's chattering inside of it. Splines look good on the planet too, so the input planet's good. The input reaction carrier hub is a little loose. Let's see if we can get into it. Yeah. It's halfway gone where it's chewed into here because this metal is softer for this. It needs the input hub. Washer, no big deal. It's plastic. Ring gear looks fine. The shell looks like it's an original shell. It's heat treated, which they all did that to them. That's pretty tight. I don't like running the factory thickness shell though. I put a wider shell. I always run a monster shell in them. Or a beast. In this instance it'd be a monster because it's the bearing type. And we just got the center support left, and that's pretty much it. Lost my good pick. Get our center support, low and reverse clutches out with our rear planet. Our output shaft. Rear ring gear and hub. Our clunk spring. Splines look good. Teeth grooving looks fine. Bearing's good. See how it's low and reverse. We got our wave. It's got Borg Warners in it. Slightly discolored, not destroyed, getting burnt. Nothing too crazy with them. We get all new plates. Let's check our rear planet. Rear planet's good. Check your captured bearing. Captured bearing's nice. Rear planet's good. It's gonna get a new sprag regardless, because I seriously doubt they put one in. A lot of times when you do that, when they're real bad, it'll just fall apart, but I'm not sure if they replaced it or not. And for 20 bucks, it's getting a new one, so. Race looks good. Center support looks good. So, I mean, not too terrible of a build. It's gonna need that drum. It's going to need both our pressure plates. Check the shaft. I forgot. Journals, blinds. Shaft's good. So yeah, again, we're going to need the input reaction carrier hub, both pressure plates, frictions and steels throughout this drum, and a pump kit for the pump. I'm probably going to find issues in the pressure regulator and the pump and the AFL valve and the valve body more than likely, and something to do with the forward and reverse abuse valves in the valve body as well. I'd put money on it. I'll see if I can get time to do the video of that where I'm testing it and showing you the results of everything. But I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I got 2 more to do. I got a 350 turbo old school hot rod car, and then I've got a, what do I got? Let's see. I can show you here. I got, let's see, AOD's pickup. Yeah, turbo 350 vehicle, it's Pontiac, and another 4L70E, like a 2003 model to do. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching, guys.